Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for a while I've been thinking and I was like, what am I going to upload next? Because I really wanted to bring back makeup tutorials. However, I've been having an issue, which is why I'm wearing my glasses again, and that is because the optical place thingy, whatever, yeah, they messed up my prescription. So they had to like redo my contact lens, and that's why I haven't been posting many makeup looks or makeup tutorials on social media. But then I was like, but I can't let that stop me from putting content out there. So I was like, what video can I post while I'm using my glasses? Cause I can't do makeup tutorials now, cause like without my glasses I'm like very blind. So yeah. And then I was thinking to myself, I've been through a lot with Concho drivers. I was like, do I really want to share these stories out there? Like, is it, like, I don't know. And then I thought to myself, well, there's always Uber driver stories, but there's not a Concho driver story out there as far as I know. Like, I even like checked to see if some other YouTuber did this. I checked both in English and in Spanish and nada. So I'm gonna tell you about my experiences in conchos. Okay, so for those that don't know what a concho is, and if you don't know what a concho is, clearly you're not from the Dominican Republic, because that's a form of public transportation here. So a concho is a car. It's like really worn out, and it's a car that would not, like, imagine a car that would get an F in inspection in the US. Like, that's what it looks like. It's one of those cars that like has a certain route. It's many of them that has a certain route, and they go driving in circles basically in that route all day. And you pay them 25 pesos for you to like your destination in that route. I never really took public transportation until I moved here, because I was always in the car. I always like got dropped off, picked up, and so and so and so and so. However, my car has been broken for a long time actually. I don't even think I am able to say I have a car anymore, because it's been broken for almost a year. Whatever. Not the point. I've been through a lot in these cars, and let me just explain something real quick. I was that person that was like, no, I'm never gonna get into one of these because ew, like, nah, and like, but I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm gonna have to learn, I'm gonna have to do this. It's really not that bad. I actually liked it later, because I was like, okay, I get to connect with the people of this country in a different way. It made me experience DR in a different type of way. Let's start from when I had to take my first car. So from where I live, I have to take two of these. I have to take one. First time getting into one of these, it was when I had to go to college. So I had to take two of these cars. And I remember I was talking to my mother and our family friend, and I was like, look, I'll do it. I don't like it, but I'll do it. Because spending a shit ton of money on Ubers every single day is not worth it. So I was like, I'll do it, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna do it. And I told, like, I'm not getting in a car filled with just men, because that is sus AF. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then they're like, we're gonna send our family friend, and a motorcycle behind you for safety precautions, obviously. And I'm like, okay. But like I said, I'm not getting into one with just men, because that's really suspicious. These cars can fit up to like 7 people. Can fit more if they want. Anywho, so we're like, okay, let's go ahead and stop one. So our family friend stopped one. And then I'm like, okay, as soon as I get in, I looked around, and I'm like, oh shit, it's a car filled with men and I'm the only girl here. Okay, that is great. I'm like, the first time I get into one of these is exactly what I said I didn't want to get. Exactly what I said I'm not getting in, because of a bunch of men. So we get to where my first stop was. I get out, and then I go to the second one. And it was more calming, more relaxed, because it was just me, another woman, and then a woman in the front. Cool. As we're on our way. Later, the lady that was in the front, because there's only 3 people, one in the front, me, and this other person, this other woman. The one in the front, she gets out, and then it's just this other woman and I. So we continue our route. But tell me how, once we reached the red light, the traffic light, and it was on red, I'm just sitting in the back, minding my own business. Minding my own business. And this other car pulls up next to us with a taser. And he just like lit that shit up. He was like, zap! And I'm like, I jumped, gave me a fright. And I was like, my God, what is happening? And later I figured out that it was another driver just there laughing and is like, haha, I scared you. My driver pulls out a machete from the passenger seat. And the first thing that I thought was, how the did you manage to pull out a huge machete from the passenger seat? And I was like, wasn't there a woman just sitting there? Where was that machete? Like, where did he put it? Where was it? So this driver, he's just like, yo, stop playing games or I'ma use this on you. And I was just like, oh my God, what just happened? Like, did I really just go through this? I'm just in the back seat, kind of like terrified, because I'm like, oh my God, my first time and this is what happens to me. Whatever. I got to college safe and sound. Then there was this other time that I had to go again, right, to college. I think this was my second time. So my second time, remember, I had to take 2 cars. Before I took these public cars, I was always told horrible stories like, oh yes, these Concho drivers, they'll like kidnap you, like they'll take you to put gas, and then it's actually not, it's actually this, and then it's like, whatever, a whole bunch of scary stories, right? So then that made me even more scared. And there was this one lady, 2 years ago probably, that told me, oh yeah, once I was in this one car and it stopped to put gas, and then they were like, it was really suspicious and we were almost gonna get kidnapped and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So tell me how, when I'm in my first car, there is a gigantic hole on the bottom. Like, I'm literally seeing the street and I'm like, oh, like, how, this is not safe. It's not safe at all. And I get to my second one and it's really okay, but I was the only person here. So the driver decided to get some gas. And I was like, no. So he goes, and then he was just asking for some people. I was like, no, this is it. This is how it's gonna go down. Yep. This is just great. I had flashbacks to the stories of, yeah, when they take you to a gas station. It's like, that's where I am right now. So I was terrified. This is it. This is how it's gonna go down. I wasn't ready for this. So I got freaked out and I started calling my mom, and then she's just like, okay, so where's our family friend? And I'm like, I don't know. He ain't here. He probably waiting for me on campus. And she's like, okay, call him. So I continued to call him and I'm like, yo, no answer. I'm like, dude, no answer. Hey. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna walk to campus. But that's even more dangerous. And then eventually he did pick up, and then the driver was like, are you coming or what? I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay right here. You go on. You go. Do you. He's like, well, okay. And then he left. And finally our family friend came and picked me up, and he's like, what happened? I'm like, he stopped to put gas. And then he was like, and why didn't you get back in? I'm like, but the stories I've heard for when they stop and get gas. He's like, okay, you know what? Just hop on. I'm gonna take you. I'm like, thank you. Because I'm not doing this. After that, I did eventually get over my fear of when they do take me to the gas station. Because, you know, it was scary. You can't blame me. This actually happened to me recently. And one of these things happened to me 2 days ago. 2 days ago. And this is when I started to get the idea that I have to make a video on this, because this is just, oh my god, what the actual, okay, anywho, okay, so for those that don't know, I'm doing 2 careers now. I'm doing one on my main campus, and then I'm doing another one in a different location. Yeah, I get out of my classes, I go ahead and take a public car to go to, you know, my other college. It's cool, like, you know, I already have that. I can do this on my own thing. I've been taking these things all by myself, like these public cars all by myself, because like I'm not that terrified of them anymore if I know the route. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the M, because it goes to my other college campus. So I get into one of these, and I'm in the front. For these public cars, 2 people can go in the passenger seat, and then there's a driver. This one lady decided to sit next to me, and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. So you really sit uncomfortable because you're basically like smushed. And God, I'm small, right? So we're on our way. They stopped because we're at a red light. On the right side, I see this other driver coming out, and he's like looking at this driver, and I was like, why you mad? And he's like making his way, like, and then he kicks the car of the driver, and I was like, and then the driver is just like shouting, yo, don't hit my car, whatever, this and that. And then he comes, the one that kicked the car, he comes to the driver's window. He just attacked him. Yes, attacked him. And I'm over here like, my heart just sank. I was like, this is really happening right now? And I'm over here like, I'm like right next to the driver. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. And I'm in the front seat too. This is how it's gonna go down. I'm too young for this. Driver, he's just like, he pulls on his shirt and he grabs him down, and then he's just like verbally attacking him like, yo, I know you don't want to do this, you know I'm gonna hurt you, que si, like, que si okay, que si cuánto. Like, so then the other guy, he comes back, and then he starts hitting him, and he's like, yo, what you gonna do about it, whatever, this is that. And then I'm like, dear Lord, forgive me for my sins. And then I'm just there so scared, because I'm like, oh my God, why this happened to me? And then I accidentally looked, and I made eye contact with the one that was attacking my driver, and I was like, nope, that's it. He gonna kill him and then kill me next, because I saw his face. That's it. That's done. And I'm like, how do I text my mom that I love her, because this ain't it. This ain't it. The one that attacked my driver was like, yo, so when you gonna go out to the party? I've been trying to ask your wife when you're available. And she's like, damn, you're always busy out here driving. I'm just, y'all mean to tell me y'all are friends? And they just start laughing, and then I'm over here like, shit, I almost basically like peed myself. And then something similar happened to me again 2 days ago. I'm in the front seat. Another person comes and they sat next to me. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, you know, okay. And as we're on our way, the driver stops to pick up another passenger. I don't know where this person came from, but he just came running to the driver's seat, started attacking him, and then he stole his phone. And I was like, it's gonna happen to me again. I was like, oh no, I'm not ready for this. It's gonna happen again. And I'm like, how do all my devices are hidden, but still he gonna rob me. He gonna rob me next. And I'm over here like, yo, driver, leave. He gonna rob me next. No, you know what happened? You know what happened? The kid came back laughing and gave him back his phone. And then he's just like, you better stop or I'm gonna tell your mom what you're doing. And I'm just like, can you people please stop doing these things while there are people in the damn car? Or is this normal? Like, am I the only one who pees themselves when shit like this goes down? Is this normal out here? Like, what? So, yeah. That's basically what's been going on. Of course, there's like hundreds of other stories I could tell you guys, but I didn't want to make this video that long. You feel me? I just really wanted to share this out here because no one ever made a video like this, and it surprises me because so much shit goes down in these public cars that you have no idea. But that's how it is. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys on my next one. Okay, real quick, so if you live in Dominican Republic and you have taken a public car here before, or if you have ever in your life visited DR and taken a public car, what is the strangest thing that happened to you? Like, what is your experience? Because do these things only happen to me? Like, anywho, I'm really interested, so please leave a comment telling me about your experience taking one of these things, because I really want to know. Like, I'm very curious. But yeah, that is all I wanted to say, so bye.